these people who float around.
Well, are we expecting no dad to be here? You know, I mean, like he was at that meeting, weren't you? Like the same meeting that Graham got suspended from.
You know more than me.
I'm pretty sure it was actually in his fiance's ward. So, like, I mean, are all these things being taken into account for the Labour Party? I tell you.
Well, you'd have to ask the Labour.
Well, that's what Jodie said right before she said, "Stop harassing me."
What time is it? Oh,
I went out before, they shut all blinds. Have they knew that them blinds now? So they put them on just for me? I think they have. I think they have.
Are you doing your public?
Well, public service.
Yeah.
That's right.
You've been the Andrew Neil, are
I like to make sure everything is out in the open. Out in the open.
you?
Yeah.
You'll just have to submit some questions to council and
They don't answer them. They don't answer them. I submit them all the time. They just ignore them.
They might be just not wording.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't got your word skills.
You might not be subtle.
Well, I like to. I don't want them to be able to wiggle out of it, Miles. That's the thing. I like to be like to the point, you know. Where has that £85,000 levelling up money for the park's gone? Do you know what I mean? You announced £60,000 for a park, but where's the other 85? That makes it 145,000. Have you seen that park? I filmed it this morning.
Which one?
The one at Milton Street.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Not
not-
getting on with it, are they?
No, they haven't even started it.
They started down at Wilson's.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Oh, is
I'll be
it?
swimming in there shortly, won't I?
But you haven't got what you wanted, Miles, because apparently they're putting a pool in there now. The people, the spectators, will have to stand outside to watch because there's not going to be room on the inside.
Well, it's not for anything. We've got other pools for that. Hi, Marley.
Well, it can't be a rival to Hyndman, can it? Because that's the flagship, isn't it?
No.
You
Well,
know.
you've got Hyndman, you've got up at Hyndman Academy.
Hyndman Academy,
So
yeah.
that's where the swimming clubs will go.
Yeah.
This one is more for the
Fun.
likes of
It's more,
you and me.
it's more
who've
for
got
fun,
to
isn't it?
splash
It's more
around.
for fun, isn't it? Yeah. You know, it's just big spend. It's 12 million, but I suppose.
And unlike junking Hyndman's 28, well, Labour's 28 billion green thing, this is going to be the most efficient.
Me, I wasn't drunk. What, me drunken? Is that, we're not talking about the Huncock Garden Village there, are we? Come on, Miles. That wasn't one of your inspirational ideas, was it?
Garden Village goes ahead, it's 440 million development.
All Greenfield, though, isn't it? It's all Greenbelt. It doesn't exist anymore, Miles.
It's brownfield.
No, it's Greenbelt. It doesn't exist anymore because the government changed the rules in April that said Greenfield doesn't exist anymore if the councils need it. Oh, it's not Brownfield, it's
Go
Greenfield.
back. Look when the power station was there. Can you remember
From,
them calling
from the brown, yeah, all right. The power station is Brownfield, fair enough. But what
And
about the
other side-
3,500
The
houses?
other side was the coal mine
Right.
and the railway
But
tracks.
exactly. Well,
It's only the road.
but I'm saying
road
that the land that I propose in Great Old is 1.5 miles of ex-railway tracks, 1.5 square miles of brownfield, which will connect Clayton and Rishton and Great Old all together.
Close to you.
All together. Well, no, you're not, because your inspirational road from Junction 6 to come into Alan Ramsden Way, that was your idea, wasn't it, Miles? That was one of your
No, it was
inspirational ideas.
George's first.
All right.
It was only delayed because the bridge master at County Council.
Well, they don't know who owns the land, do they? That's probably why it was
no,
delayed, really.
If it wasn't for the River Hyndman, it
Right.
would have been done.
All right.
Simply that county came and said, well, we've got to build a bridge
Right.
over the Hyndman. That escalated the cost
Right.
at that time. So the idea was there. I mean, George's original idea was for Alan Ramsbottom Way to go all the way around to Lee Lane.
Yeah, which he
So
should.
all the HGVs didn't go through the town.
Exactly.
Went to the industrial
But-
estate.
so I
And
changed
then
it slightly.
A spine off across the fields. And it would have happened, but there wasn't money for the bridge.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'd have brought it directly from Junction 7 straight across the fields. It's only a mile.
Well, you can technically miss
You can miss
going off there if you went down to the industrial estate at Riverside and ran the road there. You wouldn't need the bridge because
No.
you've got the bridge there.
There you go. You know, save a bit of
That's what
money.
you
And
could have done instead of doing
I think
that
it all
way.
came down to the actual landowner, Miles. They didn't know who owned the land.
Well, you can always find out who owns the land.
Can you?
So, well, unless you're a
You can't-
unless you're a duke and you haven't registered it.
And that's it. If it's not been, you don't have to be a duke, Miles. A lot of railway land isn't registered. You know, it will be soon though. Very surprisingly, and then
Well, it'll be the next local plan time where there'll be massive house building in Great Harwood.
Well, I mean,
If you don't go ahead and don't import Garden Village,
yeah.
then where you go build your houses?
Well, in Great
so
Harwood.
that would have to, because
Yeah,
the
Great
only
Harwood.
reason we didn't allocate around Great Harwood
It's because
is
you'd already put 400 houses there that were off the plan.
well, yeah, and we protected
Well, well,
around
yeah.
the boundary.
I mean, you put 350 houses for Keepmore and,
Yes.
and 50 houses for Onward.
In
They're not on the local plan. None of those around Wood Street are on the local plan. That's 400 houses that aren't on the local plan
and it's
that are
brought
currently
the
built.
town flourishing up the high
I mean,
street.
I understand
with
that. I
jobs.
understand there'll be a fine that the council have to pay, but I also understand that it'll be slightly less than the incentive the government pay to build them houses. So it's like it's a win-win for the council, and obviously they get the extra council tax and then 400 houses. I mean, they're all.
We all want the borough to
How do you class them as aspirational houses in it? Is that does that mean £500,000 plus?
Well, no, mate, if it was in Ribble Valley,
Well,
the
I mean,
average
but-
house like that would be 400 to 500.
They were on about changing the
Here
boundaries,
it's
weren't they?
250 to 300,000.
Well, it's its own little town, isn't it? Netherton's its own little town, isn't it?
Well,
You know.
you have to live where the housing market is failing, and in certain parts of Surrey, the housing market is failing. To bring it up, you have to bring across
No,
people with disabilities.
I can appreciate it. It's not, you know, you need the housing for the workforce, don't you? You know, one brings the other hand in hand.
Yeah, the pound are rich.
Wow.